Telephone and online interviews. Phone interviews are often used for initial screening. They can be as short as 3 to 5 minutes for most positions unless it is for a senior role, such as the head of a department or a CEO. During this stage, the recruiter mainly determines whether you are a potential fit for the role. Online video platforms are typically used after the screening process and therefore have slightly different dynamics. Let's discuss factors to consider for these modes of communication, along with some sample questions and answers. Phone interviews. You might receive a screening call because you applied for a vacancy or the recruiter took an interest in your profile. The latter situation gives you a marginally better chance, as they are already inclined toward your potential. Regardless of how the call was initiated, the recruiter will usually provide a brief introduction to their organization, the position, and then assess your suitability. Since you may not know when to expect a telephone interview, it is critical to prepare in advance. Your goal is to sell yourself, your skills, experience, and value, using only your words. For a phone screen, you rely on 3 assets: your attitude, your voice, and your preparation. Here's how to optimize these for success. Before the interview, set up a professional voicemail. Start by ensuring your voicemail is professional, as interview calls are often scheduled this way. A voicemail message should clearly confirm that the number belongs to you and should be professional. Ensure you have a stable phone connection. If using a mobile phone, confirm your battery is charged and avoid distractions from other devices. Greet professionally. When answering the call, avoid unprofessional responses like, "Yeah," or "Finally. I was wondering if I'd ever hear from you. This is a business conversation." Instead, respond positively and courteously. Example response: "Thank you for calling. I'm very interested in learning more about this opportunity." Schedule the interview wisely. If the call catches you at an inconvenient time, e.g., in a noisy environment or when unprepared, it's acceptable to reschedule. Politely inform the recruiter of the situation, apologize, and suggest an alternate time. Example response: "Thank you for calling. I'm currently in a situation where I can't give this conversation my full attention. Would it be possible to schedule a call between 11 a.m. and 12 p.m. tomorrow?" Rest assured, if they've contacted you, it means your application is strong. A reasonable request to reschedule won't hurt your chances, as long as you remain enthusiastic and professional. Research the company. If you expect calls from specific applications, it's beneficial to have background knowledge about the company. Familiarity with their mission, values, and recent projects demonstrates interest and preparation. Prepare for common questions. Here are a few standard questions you should anticipate. Tell me about yourself. Your answer should briefly cover your relevant experience, current role, and key qualifications. If you're a fresher, highlight college projects, internships, or professional courses that make you a good fit. Keep the focus on professional accomplishments and traits like being results-driven, proactive, and a team player. What interested you in this position? Employers ask this to gauge your seriousness about the role. Reference details from the job description, the company's values, or how the position aligns with your career goals. Example answer: "I've noticed that the aspects I enjoyed most in my previous roles align closely with those listed in your job description, such as creative writing and stakeholder engagement. While I've appreciated my current position, I feel ready to grow in a role that better suits my talents, like this one." Do you meet specific requirements for the role? Some roles may require expertise in a particular area, such as knowledge of the Arabic language or proficiency in specific software. Be honest. Don't claim skills you lack, as this will hinder your ability to perform if selected. 4. Why are you looking for a job or a change in job? Employers may ask this question during your phone interview to identify potential red flags regarding your employment situation. If you are currently employed but looking for new opportunities, explain why. Focus on career-related reasons rather than personal preferences like shorter commute times or flexible hours. For instance, you might mention limited growth opportunities in your current role. If you've been let go, frame your response positively, explaining that you and your employer agreed it would be best for you to find a better fitting opportunity. Highlight how you've been using your time to improve your skills and work habits. Example answer: "I'm looking for opportunities to start my career as a project coordinator. Working as an executive assistant has given me substantial experience managing and organizing schedules, and I'm ready to take the next step in my career. I feel especially qualified for this role because I've worked in the retail industry in my last 2 administrative positions. I'm eager to begin my project coordination career and would be thrilled to do so with your company." 5. What are your salary expectations? This question helps employers determine if your salary expectations align with their budget for the role. It also gives them insight into whether you might be over or underqualified. The best approach is to provide a salary range, which shows flexibility while also setting a baseline for your expectations. Example answer: "For this position, my ideal salary would fall within the range of X to Y. I believe this reflects my experience and qualifications for the role." 6. If we move forward with your application, when can you join? Employers may need to know your availability up front, especially if they're looking to fill the position quickly. If you cannot start immediately, be honest about the earliest date you can join. For currently employed candidates, review your current role's terms to ensure you can leave after the standard notice period, e.g., 2 weeks. If you are unemployed, you can typically state, as soon as possible. Example answer. After receiving an offer, I would be able to join after a 2-week/month-long notice period. If you believe the notice period can be waived or shortened, mention that as well. If the recruiter finds you suitable, they might confirm your availability for an in-person or online video interview and inform you about the next steps. 7. Do you have any questions? When given the opportunity, it is important to ask a few thoughtful questions. This demonstrates engagement, active listening, and genuine interest in the role. If you've applied to numerous positions without delving deeply into each company, focus your questions on the position instead of the company. During the interview, sound professional. While dressing up may not be necessary for a phone interview, sounding professional is critical. Some advisors recommend wearing smart clothes and sitting up straight to help you feel and sound more professional. Emphasize your tone of voice and speak slightly more slowly than normal. Build rapport without body language. Since neither you nor the interviewer can rely on body language, it's essential to build rapport through your voice. Smile often. It may seem odd, but it can actually be heard in your tone. Stay focused and listen carefully. Without visual cues, it can be harder to concentrate. Actively listen to the interviewer and avoid zoning out. Signal when pausing. If you need a moment to think about a difficult question, let the interviewer know. For example, say, "Let me take a moment to organize my thoughts." This prevents awkward silence and keeps the conversation flowing. Maintain enthusiasm until the end. Even if the interview stretches on or you feel unsure about your performance, maintain enthusiasm. A positive tone leaves a strong impression. At the end of the interview, end the call effectively. If the interviewer is concluding the call without mentioning next steps, politely inquire. Example statement. Thank you for your time today. I've enjoyed learning more about this opportunity, and I'd be happy to discuss it further in person. You can also ask if email is the best way to stay in touch to ensure your follow-up message reaches them. Video interviews. Video interviews are often more formal, conducted after initial screenings, or by important department members located elsewhere. They are akin to in-person interviews, requiring thorough preparation. Before the interview, choose a professional location. Avoid conducting the interview in noisy or public places like cafes or trains. Instead, select a quiet, private space such as your room, with the door closed. Inform housemates or family members to avoid interruptions. Eating or drinking during the interview is inappropriate, though keeping a glass of water nearby can help if your mouth gets dry. You can also place subtle reminders to smile and maintain eye contact near your workspace. During the interview, minimize distracting noises. Avoid rustling papers or creating background noise, as these can be distracting. Arrange all necessary materials before the interview, including notes, a pen, and paper. Test your technology. Ensure your equipment, camera, microphone, and internet connection is functioning correctly. If there's a potential issue, inform the interviewer beforehand. Consider using a headset for better audio clarity. Leave a memorable impression. Follow the same techniques as in-person interviews, including maintaining eye contact through the camera and speaking clearly. After the interview, send a thank you email. Express gratitude for the opportunity, just as you would after a face-to-face interview. Summary. Keep these tips in mind for your next interview to leave a strong and lasting impression. With preparation and practice, you can approach any interview with confidence.